History is often taught through dates, kings, wars, and victories. But hidden beneath those timelines lies another story. A darker one, a story of pain, fear, and punishment, all carried out in the name of law, religion, and order. Today, we explore one such chapter, a punishment so cruel that it sounds almost unreal. A device made of simple wood, yet capable of breaking the human body and spirit. This is the story of the Spanish donkey, a torture method once considered legal justice. What was the Spanish donkey? The Spanish donkey, also known as the wooden donkey or wooden horse, was not an animal at all. It was a triangular wooden beam, shaped like an upside-down roof ridge. The top edge was narrow and sharp, designed intentionally to focus pressure on a single point. Victims were forced to sit astride the beam, as if riding a horse. But there was no saddle, no support, only pain. To increase suffering, heavy stone or metal weights were tied to the victim's legs. As gravity pulled downward, the full weight of the body pressed onto the sharp ridge. The pain was slow, relentless, and devastating. This was not meant to kill quickly. It was designed to break. Where and when was it used? Despite its name, the Spanish donkey was not used only in Spain. Similar devices appeared across Europe between the 15th and 18th centuries, a time when torture was an accepted tool of justice. However, the device became most infamous during the era of the Spanish Inquisition. During this period, authorities believed torture could extract truth, force confessions, protect religious purity, maintain social order. Courts did not need proof as we understand it today. Suspicion was often enough, and once accused, the burden fell on the victim to confess. Who were the victims? The Spanish donkey was used on many groups, including accused heretics, religious dissenters, prisoners of war, soldiers accused of disobedience, criminal suspects, political opponents. Many of these people were never proven guilty. Confessions obtained under torture were considered valid. Silence was interpreted as guilt. Screams were ignored. Pain became the language of justice. How the torture worked. The true cruelty of the Spanish donkey lay in its simplicity. There were no blades, no bloodshed, no spectacle of violence, just wood, rope, and gravity. As the victim sat on the narrow beam, muscles tore, nerves compressed, circulation was cut off. The longer the session lasted, the worse the damage became. In some cases, victims lost the ability to walk. Others suffered internal injuries that never healed. Some died days later, not during the punishment, but from its consequences. This allowed authorities to claim the punishment was controlled, even merciful. Why it was considered effective? From the perspective of medieval courts, the Spanish donkey had advantages. It left few visible wounds, required no medical skill, was inexpensive to build, caused extreme pain without immediate death. This made it ideal for interrogation and intimidation. Public use of the device sent a message: obey or suffer. Fear was not a side effect. It was the goal. Public humiliation and psychological terror. In many cases, the punishment was carried out in public. Crowds watched. Silence fell. Children saw what happened to those who disobeyed. The victim was stripped of dignity as well as comfort. Even after the pain ended, the shame remained. Survivors carried trauma for life. Some never spoke of it again. Others were permanently marked, not on the body, but in the mind. In this system, cruelty was not a crime. It was a duty. The decline of torture. By the 18th and 19th centuries, ideas began to change. Philosophers, reformers, and legal scholars questioned torture's effectiveness. They argued that pain produces compliance, not truth. Slowly, laws began to shift. Confessions under torture were banned. Public punishments were reduced. Human rights concepts emerged. The Spanish donkey faded from use, not because it was ineffective, but because society finally recognized its inhumanity. The Spanish donkey today. Today, the Spanish donkey exists only in museums, historical records, documentaries. It stands behind glass, silent, harmless, but it reminds us of something important. Cruelty does not always look monstrous. Sometimes it looks ordinary, legal, even righteous. Final message: why this history matters. The Spanish donkey is not just a story about the past. It is a warning about what happens when power goes unquestioned, fear replaces justice, pain becomes proof. History teaches us that civilization is not defined by how it punishes the guilty, but by how it protects the innocent. Remembering these stories matters, because forgetting them risks repeating them. If you found this history important, share it, because the darkest chapters deserve to be remembered, not hidden. See you in the next video.